We have seen another all-time high for Bitcoin today, which of course is Sunday. Happy Sunday wherever you are around the world. I'm sure you guys are excited. I've been receiving a lot of comments, people saying, they're so excited that they're losing sleep, and I can understand that. I know that feeling. But Bitcoin breaking towards another all-time high just not too long ago is causing the altcoins to push back towards the upside, and we're actually seeing double-digit gainers across the board. Amazing momentum, things we've been waiting for quite some time now, and it's really starting to show. We're really starting to see that the bullish momentum is definitely on the crypto side. XRP up 5.2%. We'll obviously get into that. Just a quick reminder, on the weekly time frame, you're starting to see some coins up 100% already, XLM being one of them, Pengu up, Mock Coin, Algorand up 50%. So, we're seeing gains being made, which of course is always nice to see. But looking at the price of XRP right now, it is at $2.85. We're up about 3.3% in Bitcoin comparative. Also, valuation is approaching $169 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at $6 billion. We need to keep in mind today's Sunday, it's the weekend. Obviously, CME futures are closed, yet you have seen Bitcoin smash past its all-time high, which is something obviously we've been anticipating, but really shows you that we're setting ourselves up to have a very nice week ahead for ourselves. But take a look at this. Crypto Fear and Greed Index hit 74, up from 66 last week. Will bulls keep pushing higher? So, of course, this shouldn't really be a surprise that, we're in the greed category, because, of course, the market is booming right now. Altcoins are booming. When that does tend to happen, specifically, altcoins, that's where retail really comes in and starts paying attention. And, market is in greed. I'm not surprised. And I think, we could even start approaching in the extreme greed zone if, the prices continue to go up this upcoming week. But before we get into any further, I just wanted to say the disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, CEO of SBI Holding says after the SEC case ends, XRP will be a very high price. And we know we're coming to a conclusion with that specific, lawsuit. And I totally agree. And in terms of timing, everything is just aligning perfectly as far as time is concerned. If you've been noticing, obviously tomorrow, the potential of a pro share ETF, spot ETF, goes live. Obviously, SEC has till Tuesday, which is July the 15th, to really come out whether they want to delay it or not. But if they don't, if we hear nothing from them, that means, this is going to go live. And on top of that, the SEC and Ripple lawsuit is also, pretty much in the conclusion end. And obviously, if we see a rate cut on top of that, what we have seen right now for the market, I think, could get even more exciting. And the price of XRP is already retesting close to all-time highs without a spot ETF announcement, without also an announcement from the SEC and the Ripple lawsuit, completely over, which pretty much it is. But we need to get from the judge himself that this is completely settled for good. And and the rate cut, if we keep all these factors in mind, the price of XRP is already thriving, and that really showed you that the way it was consolidating prior to this move was bigger than a lot of people were paying attention to, and now people are paying attention to it. So you can see Sunday XRP, we are still seeing quite a bit of volume coming in. Like I said, retail is showing a lot of interest right now. That does tend to happen, and of course, people are getting excited. And I'll take a look at this. Shout out to Mr. Man XRP. They say XRP, so Ripple and Stellar in particular are now aligned with SWIFT, GPI, ISO 20022, and central banks use cases. Stronghold SHX is already registered with the NACHA and operates over ACH rails. Quant's Overledger allows blockchains and banks to interoperate over common protocols. Chainlink provides oracles that feed compliance signals, asset prices, or identify confirmation into these transaction workflows. They're becoming the middleware of the new system. And with the Fedwire going ISO native, they no longer sit outside the wall. They sit at the gate, interoperating directly with regulated liquidity pools. As Fedwire, ACH, SWIFT, CHIPS, RTP, and even tokenized asset platforms like BlackRock's build converge into the signal programmable liquidity network, demand will shift towards assets and technologies that can facilitate compliant movements inside the network. Assets that can't interoperate or that resist regulation will lose access to deep liquidity, bank integration, and institutional flows. And remember, XRP, the native token itself, is not ISO compliant. It's the Ripple net that is ISO compliant. And if you understand Ripple net, this is where XRP use case comes into play, and that's where the excitement really lies. But last but not least, XRP is well known in Japan. In actuality, a significant portion of XRP's price movement has been caused by Japanese investors buying the cryptocurrencies and driving the price up. Quite an interesting take. Do let me know, obviously, down below what your personal thoughts are. But take a look at the dominance here. As of now, you're looking at the dominance still ranging around at the 64.48%. We haven't really seen a major sharp increase, regardless of Bitcoin, going towards a new all-time high. At this point, Bitcoin's reaching all-time high after all-time high, and we came very close to 120,000, all-time high, and we're pretty much in price discovery mode. I'm not going to extend the Fibonacci levels just yet. I'll wait. But so far, so good. Bitcoin's obviously breaking out, which explains why we're seeing altcoins pushing. But XRP, this is something that we want to keep in mind. Right now, in the next few hours, obviously we still have a lot of time till the weekly candle comes to an end. But you want to see the price of XRP pushing above this. Actually, let's actually take a look at the exact range. So the $2.91 level, we actually retested it a few hours back. We actually retested it. And we got rejected. Of course, this was an all-time high at one point as well. Obviously, this was our yearly high back in December of 2024. This exact same level is coming as a hurdle for the price. You want to see this resistance turn into support. This would be the confirmation that we start pushing up to the $3 range and onto our all-time highs. A lot of people are anticipating that all-time high could even happen this week, depending on how XRP reacts, and I think that is a possibility, a very strong possibility. If you want to put this into perspective, XRP's all-time high around. Again, I'm just going based off of this chart. This is recorded at 337, but the all-time high was around 380 to 389. And if you want to put that into perspective, from here we are about a move of only, give or take, 30 to 35%. And once you cross this range, I think that can happen much quicker than you think. The volume, even though it's the weekend, it's ranging at 6 billion, something we shouldn't really be ignoring. But you let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Thank you for all your support. Next few hours, very critical. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX. Peace.